After the girl became pregnant, all three of her ex-husbands showed up at the hospital at the same time. They were baffled to see one another there. None of them wanted to reveal their identities, so each came up with a different excuse. But the girl had already guessed this would happen. Her first ex-husband was a company CEO, the type who never wanted their relationship made public. Eventually she realized he had always looked down on her background. Her second ex-husband was a senior engineer, brilliant but overly rigid. What once seemed like discipline had turned into a flaw. Her third ex-husband was a celebrity. Their entire relationship had been kept in the shadows. Once, after a fan photographed them together, he had claimed she was his sister. He was always the one most obsessed with protecting his image. Her best friend urged her to identify the baby's father right away. The girl reluctantly agreed. So her friend invited all three ex-husbands into her hospital room. But the girl didn't want them to know about the pregnancy. She feared they'd start fighting over the child. Still, she needed to know who the real father was. So she invented a cover story, claiming she was looking for a roommate. To her surprise, all three volunteered. That's how she ended up living in a mansion with her three ex-husbands under one roof. She even assigned each of them their own room. But the celebrity immediately demanded to stay in the room next to hers. The other two protested, but he brushed them off, insisting he had the right since he was her brother. Just then, a mahjong table she had ordered was delivered. Knowing them so well, she could read their expressions during the game and even predict their hands. But they were all fiercely competitive. Watching them, she started to form a guess about who the baby's father might be. Then, unexpectedly, another man walked in. He introduced himself as a marriage registry clerk, and all four of them seemed to recognize him. He had, in fact, handled all three of her divorces. Even he seemed bewildered by the sight. The girl panicked. She didn't want her ex-husbands knowing how many times she'd been divorced. But to her shock, the clerk revealed he used to own the very mansion they were living in. She had no idea. She had assumed he was just an ordinary man, but in reality he was the son of a wealthy tycoon. The coincidence unsettled her. And while the ex-husbands were still trying to place where they had seen the clerk before, she suddenly felt a wave of nausea. Morning sickness. That night, the CEO slipped into her room uninvited. She was furious at his intrusion, but he explained he had come to help her pay off the remaining balance on the mansion. She thought it was an insult, but he simply tossed the money down, telling her to take it or leave it. Then he admitted he had planned to give it to her a month earlier, on the night of her housewarming party. That was the night she had gotten drunk and stumbled into a bedroom. It was also the night she became pregnant. Her suspicion immediately fell on him. Could he be the father? Yet he acted as though he knew nothing. Just then, the engineer knocked on the door. Panicking, she shoved the CEO into the bathroom. When the engineer walked in, she snapped, demanding to know why he was there. He sheepishly explained he had brought her warm milk. Her heart sank. He had never remembered her lactose intolerance. He apologized, but she told him their relationship could never be repaired. Still, she recalled that he, too, had been at that party. Doubt crept in. Was he the father instead? Before he could respond, another knock came. This time, the celebrity entered. She snapped at him as well, but then he blurted out that he, too, had been at the party that night. Her mind reeled. At that moment, the two men in the bathroom nearly tumbled out.